instead. From Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, this is the National Football League. It's the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. And off we go from Denver. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, Rippon. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Noah Fant was a first-round pick in 2019, and he was picked because of his receiving skills. Had 40 catches in his rookie season for 562 yards. Did have 2 games where he topped 100 yards in each of those. Yes, he's still developing as a blocker, but that's not why he went in the first round. He went there for his ability to make big plays down the field.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 56 to
Out of the gun is Rippon. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the rookie Jerry Jeudy there. But now it's 3rd down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Rippon looks to throw it again. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now this defense very accustomed to trying to stop Melvin Gordon. It's the same division, the AFC West, but a different uniform for Gordon, spending 5 years with the Chargers before joining these Broncos in the offseason. And the Chiefs are going to get him. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down.
2019 was the first season for Frank Clark in Kansas City after spending the previous 4 in Seattle. And that was a big move by Kansas City to bring him over. He did have 8 sacks in the regular season, but it was his 5 in postseason. And helping his team get to the Super Bowl, that's why they went and acquired him. And by the way, earned his first Pro Bowl nomination with his play.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. To throw it is Rippett. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
The Broncos' new signee for 2020, Sam Martin, former Lion, on to punt. Mecole Hardman, Pro Bowler last year as a rookie, is deep for KC. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
Well, partner, normally if a guy's touchdown passes fall in half, the first thing you'd say is, he really didn't have a very good season, did he? Well, it's true. Mahomes dropped from 50 touchdown passes the year before to just 26 last year. But remember, he had a knee injury and missed a few ball games, and he still remained in the conversation as the best quarterback in the NFL.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Demarcus Robinson, the intended target on that one. And it's 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Denver has Deontay Spencer deep to return. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Ripping to pass. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Ripping on 1st and 10. This is the tight end Fant. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, and it's 3rd and short. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We know Melvin Gordon is very effective getting to the perimeter, but being a former University of Wisconsin Badger means you know how to run the ball inside and with power as well. I also like the fact that he's a weapon in the passing game. Had as many as 58 catches in a season. Throw it to him in space and look out.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now Rippon. That's going to be caught by Jeudy. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Gordon. And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 26. That one a first down pickup of 8. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Now ripping on 1st and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy, but it'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. The Kansas City Chiefs 4-1 now following the stunning Week 5 loss at home to the Las Vegas Raiders 40-32. And the loss snaps a franchise record 13-game winning streak going back to last season. Hadn't lost in 336 days. They had also beaten the Raiders 10 of 11 times, but the streak was going to end at some point, so I asked the new Pulse Flash, as Boomer Esiason referred to you, CD, during the broadcast. You were there. What did you see?
Yeah, I don't know about the flash part, but Boomer doing his homework and finding out about my hometown of New Paltz, New York. I was touched by that. That was pretty good. But what I saw there was a Kansas City team that jumped out to an early lead, as they normally do. They were up 14-3. Then they scored 2 more touchdowns, and the Raiders matched them touchdowns-wise, but they felt like they were cruising. And then things started to change a little bit, and they couldn't find that next gear. It happens. Remember, they'd won 13 straight if you count postseason last year. Sometimes you run up against a team that's determined, that's hot. I think Kansas City's going to be just fine, and they'll be right in the thick of things, but they will have to make some adjustments offensively. More and more people rushing 3 and 4 and dropping 7, trying to take away the passing lanes. They may have to be more methodical in their approach.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
45. Mike, 45.
Now here's Mahomes. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Mahomes firing complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes, and it's complete to Kelsey. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
I know it's a little bit of a cliche to talk about all the tight ends who are really wide receivers in the NFL, but Travis Kelce fits that perfectly. He led all tight ends last season with over 1,200 yards receiving, 4th in the NFL. I think he's one of the gold standards in the league for the tight end position, and I don't know if anyone has any more fun playing the game than Travis Kelce.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it. They got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Now Bell, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. To return it, here's Deontay Spencer. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Nice play, man.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I know people see Phillip Lindsay's role in Denver changing a bit with the arrival of Melvin Gordon, but I think Gordon's going to be more of an enhancement for Lindsay. Maybe he won't carry it as often, but now he'll be much more effective as a two-headed monster in the backfield. Both of them can run it inside, get to the perimeter, and catch the ball out of the backfield and move the sticks.
Looking to throw on 1st down is Rippon. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Well, switching gears for a second. Look, Charles, we know it's part of the game, but injuries, again, a big story in Week 5. Most notably, of course, Dak Prescott. Pretty severe ankle injury that's going to keep him out the remainder of the season, and that's really just the latest in what has been a tough year already. Gosh, you could probably build an all-pro team, Charles, with some of the guys who have gone down.
Yeah, an all-pro team, and at worst, a Pro Bowl team, because you're talking about names like Saquon Barkley with the New York Giants, Cortland Sutton with Denver, Marlon Mack, Indianapolis, Nick Bosa, San Francisco, all of them injuries that have them lost for the year. Michael Thomas got hurt in the season opener with New Orleans. We haven't seen him since. Nick Chubb with Cleveland on IR. Christian McCaffrey with Carolina. They've all missed significant time, so it's been a tough year for injuries. Some teams are playing around them better than others, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the year, but we wish all these guys who are hurt a speedy recovery.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Call it a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
Come on, let's go.
That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and now it's 2nd down. Well, as we normally do, let's look ahead to what's to come here in the NFL for Week 6. Some changes to the schedule in this most unusual season, but CD, I've earmarked a few here. I've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Of course, that's going to be a lot of fun. Arizona, Dallas, Monday night, and then you got Buffalo, KC moved from Thursday to Monday to account for Buffalo playing on Tuesday in Week 5.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start with that one because that Buffalo-Kansas City game, as you mentioned, was originally a Thursday night feature game. Then they moved it to Sunday, and then they had to move it to Monday because of the juggling of the schedule in this most unusual season. Arizona-Dallas Monday night, that feels like an old-school kind of a game, doesn't it? And now we'll have Andy Dalton at quarterback for Dallas. And Green Bay, Tampa Bay, that's simple. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. And Cleveland, Pittsburgh, how great is this now to feel like it's the old AFC North battle with Cleveland fully in the fight?
And this is caught by Watkins. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 37. That's a third down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
Sammy Watkins is a former first-round pick in the NFL, and he sure reminded us during Kansas City's run to the playoffs last season. 10 catches in the AFC Championship game and a 98-yard receiving game in Super Bowl 54. He did talk about possibly stepping away and getting some time in the offseason, but Kansas City very happy to have him back in their lineup and in their fold.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Yellow. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Mahomes again. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tyreek Hill certainly makes the front office look good when they spend a 5th-round pick on a guy. Then in his first 4 seasons, 4 Pro Bowl nominations. Anytime he touches the football, he's a threat to take it the distance. Hard to get on the ground one-on-one in the open field. If you miss, in the blink of an eye, he's putting 6 on the board.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And Spencer will elect to not bring it out here. It's a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun is Rippon. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
56 for Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
They'll try the draw, Lindsey, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Another nice play there by Chris Jones, a Pro Bowler for the first time in 2020, a 5-year man out of Mississippi State. I would dare say plenty more Pro Bowls for him coming up.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
In the offseason, Melvin Gordon made the move over from the Los Angeles Chargers to the Denver Broncos. He stayed in the AFC West, and now he has a mission to get back to being mentioned as one of the top backs in the league. With a young quarterback, Drew Lock, there, expect him to catch a ton of passes out of the backfield and use his ability in open space to make people miss.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Get in the right room. Get in the right room.
From the gun, Rippon. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position. Oh, the ball is out. Edwards-Helaire lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Mahomes now on first down. Buying time to his left. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On first down, Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's caught at the 1. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. I call it no gain there on the first down play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Second half starts with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now the toss to Bell running right. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Mahomes now on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Butker's kick here is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. On the return is Spencer. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Every year we spend a lot of time and money evaluating the top prospects for the NFL draft. How about when we all get fortunate and see a guy like Phillip Lindsay, an undrafted free agent who had 1,000 yards rushing his first 2 years in the NFL. Can run between the tackles, run with power, and catch the ball out of the backfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
This is Gordon. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls or setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 39, ripping. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
6-man. Check curls, check curls.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Damian Wilson in on the stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
It's just me and you.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mahomes now to throw. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes, letting one go deep for the end zone. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown.
I got my coffee rolled out for you.
Tyreek Hill, 29 yards. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. On the return is Spencer. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Rippon on 1st and 10. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
53 is the mic. Hey, defense. Hey, defense.
Looking to throw on first down is Rippon. This is the tight end Fant. And he's got this down to the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Daniel Sorensen there on the coverage.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Rippon looks to throw it again. That's going to be caught by Judy. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Nice catch there by the rookie out of Alabama, Jerry Jeudy, and I am fired up to see the chemistry develop between he and Drew Lock, their quarterback, and in addition, Cortland Sutton, their Pro Bowl wide receiver from last year. This might be the best pair of receivers the Broncos have had since Demaryius Bebe Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. This should be fun for Bronco fans to watch.
Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
That's complete right around the 8. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One man in the backfield is Gordon. One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
The field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tim Patrick there to make the grab. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chiefs offense set to go. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
He'll give this to Bell.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Big Mike Purcell with the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's got some space here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Now Rippon on 1st and 10. This is Hamler on the receiving end.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Rippon to pass.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Let's go.
To throw again is Rippon. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy.
But it'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
56, Mike, 56.
Out of the gun is Rippon. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
24 is the mic. Blue there.
Here's Gordon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They got 8 yards out of it, but they're still left with a 4th and goal from a ways out.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 53 is the mic.
On 4th down, Rippon.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Frank Clark. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked by the rookie Michael O.J. Mudia.
And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out.
53 is the mic.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination, and they got it done on the 2nd try.
Now McManus for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. KC's offense ready to take over. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. He is going to find Hill here. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. About 3 yards there to the 27. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 13. It's a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
47 is the mark. 47 is the mark.
From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, it's Bell, and he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Mahomes to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. On the return is Spencer. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the Broncos now down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 1:50 remaining. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. From the gun, Rippon. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now throwing on first down and completing it. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
The throw taken in by Hamilton, and he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 21. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field, and he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
First down now, but that clock rolling. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
McManus now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now Edwards-Helaire. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.